Have you ever wondered how some people become successful and even though you try your best, things just don't work out for you? If that's the case, chances are you're not doing everything you could. Ouch. But let me explain. The best snipers in the world, for instance, don't aim at the target, they aim at the other side of the target. The best athletes in the world don't just try to win an Olympic medal, they try to beat world records. And in your life, you shouldn't just wish to become successful, you should 10x your goals. To help you understand the concept, let's use our friend Steve as an example. He's an average dude who grew up in an average town. He was always told that if he wants to achieve anything in life, he needs to set realistic goals. And that is what he did. His goal was to get a college degree, find a 9 to 5 stable job that will pay his bills, save for emergencies, and go on vacation once a year. Sounds like a pretty good life, right? Well, not really. Simply because goals tend to fall short. Let's see how these quote-unquote realistic goals work out for Steve in the long run. Say he actually follows the safe advice and his financial goal in life is to make enough money to pay his bills. He's likely to end up with less than enough when something unexpected happens. Or if his goal is to exercise once a week, he'll never reach his full potential. At the end of the day, only 10x goals deliver a big payoff. So what are 10x goals? Extraordinary or 10x goals are by definition bigger than what most people can imagine and achieve. For instance, instead of setting a goal to run 10 miles a week, aim to complete a marathon. Or instead of just hitting the like button on this video, aim for smashing the button, subscribing, leaving a comment on every single video. Embracing the 10x rule will first of all help you overcome procrastination. It will give you a sense of purpose. It will make you proud of yourself as you achieve great goals and keep aiming higher and higher to achieve more. And finally, it will bring you closer to success. And while the definition of success might change from person to person, the author believes it has 3 mantras. First of all, success matters. Regardless of what your goals in life are, success matters. Whether you want to be the richest person in the world, change the lives of unprivileged children, or provide for your family, the only way you can properly do all of these things is by being successful. People who downplay the importance of success are often rationalizing their own failures. No one benefits when you fail, but when you succeed, you and everyone around you are better off. Success is also your duty. Most people look at success as an option. It may or may not happen. This mindset will make you settle for modest success. But when you start thinking of it as an obligation, you start acting differently about it. You start setting 10x goals, putting 10x effort, and achieving 10x success. And finally, there is absolutely no shortage of success. Many people think that someone else's success limits their achievement. The reality is that someone's achievement does not limit your possibilities. As an example, just last month, Sir Richard Branson flew to space. And when Jeff Bezos did the same just a few days later, the whole world was just as astonished by his accomplishment. And all of this sounds great in theory, but the $1,000,000 question is, how do you become your version of successful? The answer, according to the author, lies in the 4 action levels. And there is no formula for calculating how much action it will take to reach a specific goal, but in general, the more effort you put in, the better your chances of success. Makes sense. So much so that applying enough effort is often more important than having a genius idea or an excellent business plan. The book covers 4 action levels that most people opt for. Let's dive into what those actions are, and I'll let you decide which one is most likely to lead to success. Action level number 1. Doing nothing. Well, it is exactly what it sounds like. Many people just don't act, or they'll act tomorrow. But tomorrow is nothing but a loser's excuse. Now, doing nothing sounds easy, right? But not quite. It actually takes a lot of energy and effort. Imagine not getting a promotion simply because you didn't put in the effort. Now imagine the moment when you get home and you need to tell that to your loved ones. How much effort does that require? Working hard is not easy, but doing nothing and having to live with yourself knowing you haven't tried your best is 10 times worse. Action level number 2 is retreating, also known as reverse action. It means you head in the other direction and you come up with excuses of why your dreams won't work out. This often happens when someone has experienced failure in the past and develops a fear of success. It is as if their mind told them they shouldn't go any further or it could get worse than remaining at the current level. and so they retreat in order to avoid failure, disappointment, and rejection. If you look at children, for example, you can clearly see that retreating is not human nature. Instead, we're meant to go and try to advance and conquer. However, after being told to quote unquote be careful so many times, we tend to develop the habit of retreating. Action level number 3, being quote unquote normal. People who take normal levels of action are the most prevalent in our society today. They make just enough effort to get things done and don't usually go that extra mile. As a result of their average effort, they live average lives, work average jobs, and accept average relationships. This is by far the most dangerous of all the levels, because while you might be criticized for doing nothing or for retreating, nobody will point out that you're being normal. In fact, they might even pat you on the back and congratulate you on your efforts. If that is what you really want, happy days, power to it. But you will never achieve your potential by being normal. Action level number 4, massive action. The 4th level is where the 10x rule happens. The rule is simple here. You take your goal and you do 10 times what you need to do to achieve it. You do, and you do it again until you reach your goal. Taking massive action is the natural way of being. If you go back to your childhood, you probably remember taking non-stop action except while you're sleeping. And like most people, we tend to change that as we grow older. But if you look beneath all the preconceived ideas of how one should behave, you'll find the same passion, drive, and strength that you've always had ever since you were a child. And let me break it to you, it is not easy. You attract 1,000 new problems every week, and that, believe it or not, is a good thing. You want to have too many meetings, you want to make so much money that you are in the new tax bracket, you want people telling you you should slow down. And they will, trust me. They will think that you're weird, they'll call you workaholic, greedy, obsessive, and so many other things. But when that happens, remember, they're most probably doing nothing, retreating, or just being average, while you are 10xing your life. So now, here's your action plan. Step number 1 is to actually set 10x goals. A 10x goal should be 10 times greater than a regular goal. Instead of, I want to get rich, you should think, I want to have $100 million in the bank and use part of that money to help a charity in my hometown. See the difference? Nobody really needs $100 million in the bank account. That's the goal. And the bigger and juicier it is, the more motivated you'll be, and that will make all the difference. Step number 2 is write your goals down every single day. Most people write down their goals once a year at best, but according to the author, nothing worth doing is done once or twice a year. Write your goals every single morning and plan your day around them. What can you do today that will take you one step closer to your success? At the end of the day, ask yourself if you've done everything you could, and if the answer is no, use that frustration as motivation to make the next day even better. And step number 3, go all the way. As the saying goes, if you don't give it your all, you won't achieve it all. And when you think about it, the effort you put into making $100,000 is almost the same as the one you would put into making $100 million. The effort is exactly the same. What changes is your mindset and your attitude towards the goal. So once you decide to do it, go all the way. Otherwise, don't bother starting. And as long as you're alive, you'll either live to accomplish your own goals and dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's. So go out there and be great. And right now you're probably super motivated and pumped up. But hey, and you cannot pay your bills with motivation. So let's talk implementation. Let's talk action steps. How do you actually apply all this information to move the needle in your life? Click on the next video. I'll see you there.